All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome yourselves once again to the official Chuck Stew Show. And I'm Chuck Stew, or at least not going to be for too much longer, if you know what I'm saying. Not too much longer. Chuck Stew was signing off and signing out. But before I go, just also want to give you guys a heads up. This is actually going to be the second to last episode that's going to be released on the Chuck Stew Show here on YouTube. The show that every time that we got a fan, we would scare them off. It was one of those kind of shows. Did not do any production. We did not do anything. What we did, we just hindered everything. Everything was hindered on the show up until my account got banned on Twitter. I wanted to be banned on there. I was trying to get banned, and I did. So anytime we went live on Twitter, when we would do Chuck Stew Show seasons 3 and 4, being I think this one season 6. Anytime we got a new fan, we would just yell at them, cuss at them, just cuss them out, just randomly just be jerks. And, I'm just already done with it. I'm ready to just leave that part of my past, part of my life behind me. But I still have a whole lot of clips on my phone from Chuck Stew episodes that me and the Dr. Pearl's Houston book made. So welcome yourselves once again to another clip show. This is part 2 of 3 of the last hour episode of Chuck Stew. You got one more coming to you. Next Saturday, we're going to be uploading, or the weekend after that, we're going to be uploading one more after this for the final season finale of the Chuck Stew Show, where politics comes to die. It's been about now 4 years since we have started doing the Chuck Stew Show. 6 seasons, ladies and gentlemen, if you can believe it. This is the talk show where we just want to say whatever was coming to mind. I said literally whatever I want to say, being that I have a negative, provocative nature. That's something I've always struggled with, but now I'm just want to let it die. I'm going to fall on top of my own sword, and I'm just going to leave it how it started here on the Chuck Stew Show. We started with no fans about 4 years ago, and we're ending with no fans. So not one person has logged in to watch these live streams for the last season of the Chuck Stew Show, and I'm actually glad and happy that things turned out the way they did. I'm glad that we actually never really got a base for an audience. It's always been something that's always, bothered me on some kind of maybe psychological deep level or something like that. I don't know. I just wanted to focus mainly on my Christian channel, and that's exactly what's going on now. But I thought we'd just go out and blaze of glory in front of nobody, just like how I intended it to be, just how I wanted things to be. We already tried to make a couple episodes of Chuck Stew, even tried to bring back the NXT or now AEW segments where we comment on those like what we did in season 2. But we ended up just making clips for it instead of making an entire episode. So both of us are in completely different mindsets right now. We're completely different places in our lives. We're both Dr. Pearl's Houston book, even though we both book ourselves on the show to be, we're both in our mid to late 40s. We're actually in our early 30s now. And it's just time to move on. It's just time to do bigger and better things and to stop basically being the trolls of the internet. Basically being political thing you can watch. It was basically a 4chan troll army kind of thing. And, it just got tiring and it started just getting pathetic at one point. So we're moving on, but let's go ahead and start with the video clips. Now I got the introduction out of the way. All right. So what we're going to be doing to start this off is I'm going to be using a clip of Doug's Labyrinth Part 2. So if you guys watched the episode before that, we did part 1 of Doug's Labyrinth. This was actually going to go on my Christian channel, but I ended up putting up a different video where I did it in front of the camera instead of read a letter instead of doing this podcast. So here is part 2 of the 15-minute clip that we're going to be playing right now. Continuing with the video Doug's Labyrinth here. So the thing is that I don't really know how to feel about this. Because I did then for the first time, I actually sat and watched those guys, that guy's video of Steve Wilson's false teaching exposed part 1 and 2, and also the thing of this other person it's actually a couple that talked about they had 35 years worth of experience of helping people get out of cults. So, and that they said that there are
there is evidence, compound evidence, and this video came out like 10 years ago, compound evidence stating that a lot of stuff that Doug Perry teaches in his videos are unbiblical. And I kind of have, there was like this little thing inside of me that always felt that I always thought was, I don't know, like there was a possibility that he could be wrong. I don't know if it's I don't know if it was the Holy Spirit trying to protect me or something. I don't know. Or maybe I could just be wrong. You know, maybe I don't want to besmirch his name if he didn't do anything wrong. I don't know. I've never been there. I actually tried to go to his conference like 3 years ago. It was like in September, I believe. But I just did not have the money to do it. And now I do have the money, sort of, to do it now. But now I just don't know if I should. Like, it's just, I did watch that other guy's video because there's another guy uploading a couple videos about the sweat of his brow kind of thing of walking with the Lord and things like that and how the Lord talks to him. But that from the woman that he was his second spiritual wife and other people, that this voice talking to him that says it's God, Abba, Father, she's saying it is a high-powered demon that is pretending to be God, which from what it sounds like to me is the Kundalini spirit. Because I've watched Doug's video and a video of a different guy did a 3-part video on that back like 4 or 5 years ago that I was studying for my, it was a thing I was going to use for my Bible study I was teaching at the time. But, so, it sounds like the Kundalini's talking to him and talking to other people because of the things that he was telling other people that are not even necessarily biblical. So, like, that was the problem I had when I used to go to this church in Oakland, California, where his name was Pastor Majors, and that I was told after watching the first service, because he would jerk around when he would like be preaching, like his elbow and arm and his chest would like randomly jerk, and he'd go along with it. And one of the guys that I used to hang out with that went to the church said, there's just some people that feel the Holy Spirit more than others. Like some people just can't get in tune with that, and some people can. And I thought, like, dude, that's incredibly blasphemous. What? So, and I only went to that church like 2 more services, and that was it for, that was that. But I never questioned these things about Doug hearing the voice, and that I've always been under demonic attack. So I've been under demonic attack even recently as, like even just 2 weeks ago. And I thought it was because of the candles that I have in my apartment, but I'm not exactly sure. I don't know, because I thought I would hear God's voice, which I do. I do hear God's voice, but I have heard, and I have done the thing that he said, and it has worked on me at least. She said that the other woman, Candy, said it didn't work on her, and that the taking every thought captive, and it's just, I found it to be really strange, but I never questioned the fact that he wouldn't eat or sleep or bathe or things like that unless God told him to do that. Why would God care about that? But why can't you just bathe and eat at appropriate times? We have physiology in our brains that tell us when we're hungry, and it just should be a common practice to you to bathe and take a shower at least once a day. Like, why do you need to ask God for things like that? Why does it have to be like literally every time? Like, you have to be that ridiculously obedient to God's word, but he already gave us his word in the Bible. So that, I never understood that either. But, and then there also had been times, I literally like a couple weeks ago, I wrote this really long message to Doug on his comments, because he said that it takes him forever to get back to people if they send him personal messages on Facebook or on the FOTM1 website, because I've gone on there several times to buy merch from his website, because I was just I got his freaking thing right here. It says, if you're not a Christian, you're not a Christian if you're not acting like Jesus, the thing I bought for my car. Like, Like, I spent so much money on him. Like, it. Anyways, so here's the thing. When it comes to Doug, there was just a couple things I thought was weird, but I never questioned it. But then this whole thing of the second, first, third, fourth spiritual wife, and now I'm understanding that you can have a wife that's a man now in the spirit, but it has nothing to do with anything physical. But behind the scenes, she was saying, at least back then, 10 years ago, that he was very perverted from the stories that she was telling on the show. So I don't like. I'm incredibly inclined to believe this. Unfortunately, like, I'm incredibly inclined to believe that these things are true. And it really sucks because I was highly informed. Oh, yeah, I was talking about the message. I left a really long message about how, hey, I know that you talked about that you only made about $20, which made me feel kind of upset about, because it's like, dude, like, I went out of my way to buy a shirt and buy merchandise from your thing, and you're just talking about it like it's no big deal. Like, didn't Jesus talk about the woman that this woman only gave like two pennies? It was actually worth less than 2 pennies, like 2 shekels, when all these other guys were giving all this money, and Jesus said that this woman is giving the most. Like, I know that I make a lot. I would say that I make, a lot of money to me, but that's really all I could afford at the time, was to buy things like where I could only spend about $20 per check, where I was buying merchandise to help him out. And then he said it like, we only made $20 on that. It's like, well, I was like, oh, so should I have given more money? Like, did I do it wrong? Did I not spend enough money? So anyways, I left a long message hoping he'd get back to me, and I've actually sent several messages, and several times I've commented on his videos throughout the years since 2011. The only time I did talk to Doug once. It had to do with one of his demonology videos, and this was when I first came in contact with him on Facebook, or not Facebook, YouTube. I talked to him about demons back in 2011 when I went back to when I lived in California for about a year before I came back to Tucson. That's the only time I talked to him. Every single time, I even prayed for him. I made these like 6 to 8 hour long prayer videos and putting what I thought was putting myself in danger and whatnot to help his ministry, because he was just so convicting, because he cries in a lot of his videos. And I always felt bad, so I wanted to help him. But from what this woman Cindy is saying is that this dude's like a crazy narcissist, and that it's all like a show. It's all like a theater stage play-esque kind of thing, to make you think certain things. So I've never really seen him, other than his most recent video, talk about something about men are not supposed to have long hair or something like that, from whomever told him this. And how every time anyone questioned him about anything, he would tell them that they're just possessed by a demon in so many words and whatnot. And I also thought it was kind of strange that in most of his videos he talks about reading his books instead of recommending other books. I mean, other than Mr. or Dr. Wigglesworth, and then there was another book he talked about, like Pilgrim's Progress, and there was another one. But in the whole scheme of all like 1,300 videos he has, mostly he would just talk about, oh, well, that person needs to read the Dad Filter. That person needs to read the Demon Book. Oh, that person needs to read the Red Dragon Book. That's why they have this. That's why they have that. This person needs to read Who Neutered the Holy Spirits. This person needs to read this and that. Like, so it's just, I don't know if there's a possibility. I've been under this delusion for a really long time, but I don't know. I would like to talk to Doug to get his opinion on these things. I don't want to just if someone is slandering another person's name, but they didn't do anything wrong. I don't want to just outwardly hate them. Like, if it's wrong, that's not right. You know, that's not right. But I don't know how to contest with what I read in the videos I've watched. I don't, because he just never gotten back to me. And he said in a video he put out last week that I watched, he said, just keep sending your questions because we have so many questions. But then Cindy was saying in her blog that that's a form of manipulation he uses because he really doesn't care that much about people, that he's just using them and really everything's about him and his benefit and how he can benefit from a situation and how he wants to be seen as some kind of man god, like a demiurge or something. So I don't know who to believe here. Like, I'm really confused. It's like now I'm stuck in some kind of like puzzle. Like I'm stuck on some kind of, it's like I'm stuck in a labyrinth where the starting line is the exit line. Like, I don't know how to get, like, I don't know how to discern this, because now I think that the times God spoke to me was actually the devil talking to me. So I mean, I know I've heard God speak to me, but I don't, and he refers to me as, every time I talk to him, he refers to me as his son. But I don't know now. I'm not sure if a demon was talking to me or not. I don't know. How could you know something like that? So now I'm just like in an odd state right now because I don't know who to trust. Like, I was talking to Ray last night, you know, the woman I'm doing the Philippians video. She's currently helping me with editing the videos now on my channel until I get my laptop fixed. That we were speaking about this last night, and it was just really really upsetting to me that I found these videos. I mean, I didn't even find them. It was recommended to me. I just clicked OK. I was screwing around playing my game on my phone. And then I just listened to what this woman was saying. Like, I just stopped what I was doing to listen. And I was just in utter shock. And it was just a feeling of chaos and despair. I don't know how to navigate that. Because it actually, she was so convicting and the other guy was so convicting. And it really sounds like this really is a cult. Like, even with the Dr. Phil show, how the only time she said he ever flipped out and started yelling and screaming was when he got called out for essentially making women leave through the power of an arch demon, leave their husbands they were legally married to, and basically performing acts of sexual abuse on women in his compound. So I never, in like 1,000 years, I would have never guessed that this was happening. I thought this guy was so ridiculously holy and so holier than thou. And I mean, I literally even wrote on my there's so many videos that are influenced by his channel specifically in his words. I've been discipled by him, even though we've never met. Like, it's just like I'm just brokenhearted and I don't know what to like. But I'm confused. Like, I don't know who to believe in this because I don't want to slander him if he didn't actually do these things. I don't know. I never went to the conference. So I only talked to him once. It's like, how many, I mean, he only averages about 300 to 400 views a video. It's like, does it really take that long to get back to me? How many people are commenting and sending a message like 5 to 10? Like, how is that not doable? But I don't know. I'll come back with a part two. Part two to this video.
Part two. Okay, I already thought that was the part two. All right, let's get to the next part called Doug's Labyrinth. It is. Sorry, I was running. It is actually the last part. It's a 13-minute clip.
Okay, so here's the part two, and I don't know if you guys heard that on the audio, but the license plate cover that I got for my car that I bought from the FLTM merchandise website, on the back of it, it says made in China. I never noticed that before. Maybe this guy is fake as a $2 bill or $3 bill. I don't know. I don't know, guys. This is, I I was genuinely upset last night when I was on the phone after I watched these videos and read the entire blog. I was very, very upset, and I don't know who to trust. I mean, even this morning, just to get this guy's attention, to get Pastor Doug Perry's attention on his newest videos where he says, "Quit whining, God hates that." I said, "Doug, what is this?" And I put the link to the blog spot where also you can listen or watch the videos from his second spiritual wife. And that it's some of the stuff was just understandable because it was, because he works in a food pantry pretty much like they're halfway. It's like two halfway houses, at least at the time when he was in Liberty, Missouri, for people that are alcoholics and drug addicts. That's understandable, but the purpose is to get them off of it, not just live with it. Like, I don't understand how that's not like, why would you not be trying to do that? But because that was another thing she said in her video, that he was super passive. The point of having a halfway house to have people come off the street is to rehabilitate them, because they were already institutionalized or broken from the fact that they were drunks and just completely down, like. And then she was saying there was a story about a guy who would suck up to him and then attacked some other guy with a knife, like a butcher's knife or something like that, and he didn't do anything. I don't know, because I wasn't there. I don't know if these things really happen, because I'm just getting her side of the story. But I actually have seen those videos before where Doug did briefly go over them. So I don't know who to believe. So now I have to just assume he's wrong. I have to assume that, because I'm not going to continue. Because if it is right, I'm not going to continue listening to a guy who's basically a cult leader. He never gets back to me, or anybody he works with never gets back to me. So I don't know who to trust. I don't know who to listen to. Like, it's really frustrating and confusing, because I don't want to have bad intent. I don't want to have malice or anything against him, because I felt like I was very loyal to him. I gave him a lot of money. So, like, I gave him my phone once. So, I don't know, man. There have been things, like I said before, where he's talked about things. Even in his recent video where a woman was freaking out saying, "I don't know if I can do this," back when he was running his furniture store back in 2006 or 7. And I never questioned the fact of why he doesn't have his kids, or his first wife, I think her name was Rachel. Like, I felt so bad for him that I just was under the assumption, I was under the delusion, I guess I can say now, delusion, that it was his wife that was in the wrong for taking his kids. But from what this other woman, Candy, is saying, and what this other guy is saying on this other YouTube channel, is that the reason is because the guy's a nutcase. Like, not just, oh, he's super Christian and he's a Jesus freak kind of nutcase. No, like a narcissistic, like, psychopath. That's why there was a restraining order or something, and he said to her he didn't even want the kids. It sounds like a mess. It sounds like a Jim Jones thing without the Kool-Aid. Like, it's, he has said in previous videos that I've watched, where I watched several of them, where this voice would tell him to go tell people to go kill themselves. Like, and I never questioned it, because I thought, well, this is not a life for that, because this is just the test life. This is the grain of sand in the ocean. It's like our lives are like the steam that comes off the coffee cup. It's vapor. It's just here and it's gone. And then the real life is going to go be with Jesus. But now I'm starting to understand that there's a possibility now, because why would the same voice tell me, you better watch this man, when the man is wicked? So why would someone who is of God be in any kind of thing, of any allegations of infidelity and sexual abuse? Why would that be? I'm really confused here. But I feel like I'm just stuck in this weird place where I don't know what to think and I don't know who to trust. So I have to just make the assumption that he's wrong and I have to quit watching his videos. That's pretty much all I don't know what else to do. Unless I could maybe write him a letter. But you know, I guess I could do that because apparently he doesn't read anything of any comments or message, like emails that he gets from the website I've been, you know, like the FLTM1 website. So maybe I could just write him a letter and just get the address and send it like that, maybe. So I'm just going to go ahead and end the video here because this has been incredibly frustrating and very sad. I'm hoping to God that this was all a rouge and what this woman Candy is saying is a lie. I'm hoping that it's a lie. And what this guy Steve Wilson said in his old videos, I'm hoping that what things that Doug Perry's talking about is biblical and, you know, it's okay and I can continue watching his videos and everything can just be fine. And I can continue supporting his ministry and praying for his ministry. I mean, me and the woman dating Ray last night, we prayed for a while, and I was so upset because she said, "You want to pray for his salvation?" And she said, "You want to pray that he gets out of his delusion?" I said, "No, because I don't want to do that because some people are just hopeless. Sometimes prayer doesn't work because if they don't want to receive it, it's not going to work." And it sounds like from this woman praying for Doug Perry for 7 years to come out of his delusion of listening to a demon this whole time, when I thought it was he's been bowing down to the Kundalini. So, and it's apparently nothing changed. I mean, in his new video, he does use Bible verses for once, but you know, I told her, no, it's hopeless because people don't want to listen. Most people don't change. They see something that's attractive by the devil or by their own doing, and then they allow themselves to get bogged down in the pond of despond, and they just allow themselves to get wrapped in vines, and they stay there because it's comfortable. That's most people. That's most people I've dealt with in California and here in Arizona. That's just my personal story. That's my personal walk. I've been backstabbed I don't know how many times at how many churches. So because of something stupid. And he was preaching to the choir, man. Pastor Doug was definitely preaching to the choir with that. Because he was just telling me in those videos everything I already thought or had these assumptions of other people with their theologies, and we can't be friends because of this. You didn't dress like this, or you can't come into the church. You can't, I'm going to preach to you, but please don't talk to me after the service. I'm just going to leave and go do my own thing. Or the numbers don't line up when, I can't get the proper information from the church as to how much money they're making. Like it's always something gross. It's always something disgusting and demonic and evil from a church I go to. It's always the same thing. And he was just preaching to the choir, basically saying the same things I already thought in the back of my head, like in my id. So, and now this happens. And now he's demonic. Everybody's demonic. Everybody is bowing to Satan. Everybody has one need of Satan, apparently. Other than the other guy I watch. I mean, I got his posters up on my wall from things I got in the mail of the Christian Worship Hour, P.O. Box 2002, Aberdeen, South Dakota. That guy, Dr. Salem, he just turned, I think, 98 this week. That guy, here's another thing that Ray told me last night. This is why you're not supposed to put your trust in men. Do not put your trust in pastors. You're supposed to put your trust in Jesus because Jesus is never going to backstab you. Jesus is not going to have some alternative, ways of doing things. He's not going to use and abuse you for gain, for his personal gain. It is the potter's freedom because we're the pots and can't tell the potter, I understand that, but from my perspective, there is no lie, there is no deceit, because Jesus can't. He can't lie. He's just nothing but loving. Excuse me. He's just nothing but loving, and he's always going to be there for you. Like, he's always going to listen to you. He's always going to understand you, and he's always, from my perspective, he's always going to have grace for you. At least that's how I see it. I mean, it's not necessarily, some theologians would say that's not necessarily biblical because of his wrath and judgment. But when you're under his blood and you've accepted Christ and walk with Christ as your Lord and Savior, then you're, he won't deceive me. Doug can deceive me. He's under sin. That's another thing. That's another thing with his videos is there was a video I watched where good and evil fight each other, but then when you get close to perfection, you can become perfection yourself, and because you need to have not just a shot glass of Jesus, but you need a swimming pool of the blue stuff of Jesus so you would never sin. It's like, okay, well then what was that woman talking about if that's correct, if there's now allegations of sexual and ritual abuse at your place, dude? Like I'm pretty sure that's sinful. I'm pretty sure that's absolutely not okay. That is completely inappropriate. So if it's true. So, because I'm still trying to be logical with this, but I'm very upset. That was another thing. Because I never thought I could be perfect. And I was trying to be, there's so many times I get so upset to be perfect and try to be like Jesus. Nonstop. Because he was saying you could do this 24/7. Nonstop. You could just be perfect and there was just no sin in you. Like how? Where is that in the Bible? But, like, I'm starting to see that there's a lot of contradictions here. I'm now seeing these things. I think thank you, Jesus, for revealing these things to me, even though it's completely heart-wrenching and heartbreaking. I was just trying to do what Jesus told me. I thought that Doug Perry was, like, the guy. I still think that he's the guy. He is the guy closest to God, so I'm going to listen to him above everybody else. Oh, man. All right, I'm stopping this video here.
Okay, so that was actually part 3. So that is where that ended there. Okay, next is going to be a short commercial where I play with my cat.
Pretzels. Deenies. Swooping time.
Okay, so that was a commercial where I play with my cat. So a quick commercial there. And now there is an interlude. Commercial.
Jiggle when they wiggle. You got it. I like more cushion. We didn't have a moment to lose in the 70s. That's how we talk. Like deviants? Yeah, we were deviants. Oh, Dad, guess what? What? I'm finally getting all that backup bonus. So this week I'm gonna get a check for $1,800. Are you kidding? So I'm gonna pay off my taxes. I need your help to pull them up. Okay. How much do I get? Nothing. I'm gonna pay rent taxes, so maybe that's like $1,200 right there. I think you're on to something. And I still have $400 in the bank right now, so that I think you better buy us. Yeah.
What does this have to do with the deviant behavior?
Oh, I just remember. Yeah, you just remember me. I'm gonna get a haircut, man, and her shoes. What do I get for my birthday? Nothing, per usual. Oh, yeah. I don't want. I'm kidding, actually. Yeah. I
I gotta work. Shit, they're working tonight because they said they had dinner at 6 o'clock. I was like, oh, fuck. Guys, it's on the 4th. We got a lot more days. Are you sure you don't want anything? Huh? You don't want anything? Nah. Unless you got $1 million. I do not have that. Let's just go see it too, and that'll be that. Oh, I think. Okay. So I gotta work Saturday, and you work Sunday, and Sean's working Monday, so I don't know what the fuck we're gonna go do. Maybe we can go like right after the weekend after the 15th, which is what, 14th, the 21st. I can probably take that after. 21st, yeah. It's gonna be packed anyway, right? Because it shows where he turns from a skeleton into a clown. Thought he was a spider. Yeah, it wasn't the original, but in this one they show where he's got a regular face and then it just starts breaking out. Okay, and there you guys have it with the interlude with my family there. And now here is another after hours segment. So this is the setup to the episode that we are recording for the August Q&A. We're in September.
We're a little late there.
Now, M.A. Neil, medical assistant Neil, let me get your opinion on the, let's see, what, Tool album.
Honestly, I haven't listened to it, but I mean, I've been hearing good stuff about it. Honestly, I've never been a Tool fan, so...
Me either.
Honestly, I wasn't really interested. But, I mean, to everybody that likes it, that's cool.
Anthony Fantano was talking about in his recent video when doing the review of it, is that it is easily their worst album they ever put out.
Yeah, well, Anthony Fantano is something special.
Yeah, he's, I mean...
You know what he's doing half the time.
I mean, with Tool, I have a Tool record, but, like, I have their first album, their first EP, but, I mean, it's just, the music's really, I mean, it's okay if it's really dark. I mean, I'm not trying to promote that on this channel here, but...
Maybe you just like a different type of music. Their stuff is, like, real technical, and you have to like that, you know. Some people, not everybody likes that.
Not everybody likes Tool, but he said it was super, super predictable music. It sounded like a Tool record.
Like he could do any better.
Why
wouldn't they want to make it sound like a Tool record? They're going to want people to like it, right?
Right.
Wait, how are we going to do this? I don't think we're going to be able to have the table in the middle.
Table in the middle?
Yeah, because we're going to have to share the same mic, so...
Yeah, we'll just do like how we, when we record, like we just... One of us runs up to the mic and talks, and the other person talks, and we'll just throw the mic back and forth.
Well, you can't do that, unfortunately, because of this. You see how this is loose?
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just run up to it.
Unless you have like a rubber band or something like him.
You know, we have a bunch of rubber bands at work that I could have just brought.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know what? I'll bring it next week. I'll just get a couple rubber bands. What was the last movie, M.A. Neil, that you saw?
Last movie I saw. Shoot, I don't even know.
You don't remember what movie you saw in theaters last? What did you fall asleep?
I'm trying to think. No. I'm trying to think of what it was. It might have been fucking Spider-Man, honestly.
Was it Spider-Man, the Omniverse?
Yeah. No, it was the Spider-Man Far From Home.
This is the After Hours segment of the Death Church Radio podcast. M.A. Neil, what are you talking about? I don't know what this movie is. It with the guy from...
Spider-Man Far From Home, the actual legit MCU Spider-Man? That's what I'm talking about.
Is that the one that died when Thanos was fighting him?
Yeah, he died, but he came back in the end game.
He did come back.
I mean, this film...
Love spoilers.
After Endgame.
I mean, if you haven't seen the movie...
It's been out for fucking years. You better know what you're talking about. Sorry. Sorry, okay.
That's all right.
Cancel.
I'll edit that out.
I've been canceled.
You got it set up?
It's ready.
All right, so guys, we're going to go ahead and do 13 questions. We actually haven't done this since January. Well, actually, I've done 2 of them so far. 2-hour-long episodes of Q&As. The last one, I got pretty mad at everyone that was writing in. So, for some reason, I was just having a really bad day.
Yeah.
And, so...
Cancel it. This is already scoring it.
Well, this is going to be the special... Okay, and that was actually After Hours 3-minute segment there. And next, we are going to be going over, what is this?
And no.
Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind. I'm just going to delete that. I sing Cold there. I don't know why I was recording myself. Anyways, all right. So next part is going to be Chuck Stew October Part 1. And this is 15 minutes. Actually, let me if I can play it. Oh, actually, no, I actually meant to delete that one. Sorry about that, guys. Chuck Stew after. Wow, 58 minutes. Okay, that's a little too long. Let's go ahead and just end it with Chuck Stew October Part 1.
Hey, what's going on? This is Pastor Sean. Coming to you live from Death Church Radio podcast, and the Sean C. Stookie Show on Facebook. Up to about 65 people listening to on a weekly basis. And guys, I just put out the video that I'm going to be promoting in a couple hours. The prayer video that goes on for about 15 minutes. I tried to make it a prayer video that went to like 5 to 6 hours, but I couldn't figure out how to do it on my computer. So I can only do it through the live option. So what I'm going to do is just play it once a day until October 6th. And it's a prayer for Kim Jong-un over in North Korea. But I don't know if I'm already feeling the effects of the prayer or not, because I prayed it twice already that his heart would be turned from stone to flesh. I had a really, really fun vacation for the most part. It was really fun and really awesome. And I mean, there was a couple of bad things here and there that happened during the vacation where me and my girlfriend were fighting a couple times. But other than that, it was still like, it was still really nice. So like, I still really had a good time. So for this week's episode of the podcast, which I've noticed I've actually been doing a lot more lately as opposed to doing my normal videos that I've been doing for the last year on this channel, which is the psychology breakdowns with the psychology books and different ideals and things like that, to do breakdowns of things of the philosophy and psychology field, which was based off of Dr. Jordan Peterson. I've just become bored of his style. I've become bored of his type of work. So I've just been going back to the regular podcast episodes that I normally do, that I've normally been doing before doing those videos. So I'm back to doing the Death Church Radio hour-long podcast that I put out for like a weekly basis kind of thing. But anyways, I just want to, I was laying in bed about 5 minutes ago waiting for the coffee to be done, and I'm actually doing my laundry right now, and I'm not doing anything. This is the first day I'm actually just back by myself with just me and the cat. And from vacation, the vacation was like really nice, but I was just laying in bed trying to take a 30-minute nap, and then after that I was going to go get my laundry to go throw it in the dryer because I have absolutely no clothes to wear. I was just getting more and more depressed for some reason. I think I finally just gotten to the point in my relationship with my girlfriend Ray that I just can't be without her anymore. It just feels wrong. It does not feel good. It doesn't feel holy. Just dumping all the rest of the coffee in there. Anyways, so it's just like something's just wrong. That's just how I feel right now. Like something is off. And there we go. Okay, so anyways, something is just wrong and off right now. I mean, I was just trying to watch TV. I've been watching TV for like the past 3 hours, and the funny thing is that when I was on vacation with my girlfriend, we actually hardly watched TV. Like, I mean, we probably watched it for a max half hour to hour a day. Just depending on what was going on. I mean, we did watch the whole Monday Night Football game last Monday because the last about 8 days I've been on vacation, and technically 9 days altogether. And tomorrow I go back to work, my usual 8:30 to 5 shift. Not really looking forward to doing that, but I am kind of looking forward to it at the same time. It's just kind of mixed reaction, mixed feelings, but I was just thinking to myself while laying in bed, like, why do I feel this depressed right now? I just feel really bummed out, like I need to go speak to a therapist right now because of how low I feel and how quiet things are and how silent things are and how, I mean, I was going to ask maybe if my brother wanted to hang out, but I hung out with him last night for a couple hours, and I hung out with my family yesterday for a couple hours. I just didn't really feel like seeing anyone right now. I mean, usually on Sundays, what I'll do is what I've been doing for the last 2.5, almost 3 years now, actually, because let's say it is September 29th today. Tomorrow's the 30th, and then it's going to be October 1st on Tuesday. So in 2 months, or actually now less than 2 months, which is kind of scary, I'm going to be at my job for 2 years straight. And, you know, it's the weird thing about this is that, I mean, I don't know. It's just what I normally do on Sundays is I just do kind of the same things. Well, normally it was Saturdays, but I had to change it to Sundays because it said on something like WikiHow that I read over a year ago that you're not supposed to be like making plans, I guess, for Saturdays, and then you don't do anything Sunday. You're not supposed to do that. So, I mean, I did just drive back from Phoenix yesterday. I think that kind of was a mistake. I was thinking it was a mistake when I was telling my parents, oh, yeah, I'll just come over at 3 o'clock because that's what my mom was asking. And like, oh, what time are you guys going to come over? So I ended up coming over at 2, but I think it probably would have just been a better idea for me just to stay there until now, and I should have just left today instead of coming home yesterday, because I figured out, you know, I just would rather not have the day of rest before I have to go back to work, even though I have to do all my errands today, which is, it's pretty annoying, but I mean, I'm not even going to bother going shopping, like food, grocery shopping. I'll just do that tomorrow night after work. It's just, I really don't like doing it on Sundays. And I don't really, I mean, I have food to cook, but I don't really know how to cook the food and stuff, and I don't really want to figure it out, you know, just to be honest. I mean, cooking's a thing where I like to do it together with my girlfriend, and I like to cook and clean with her and share meals with her and, you know, just basically do, you know, kind of romantic stuff, I guess. But it just, I don't know, I was just laying in bed after watching TV for like 3 hours, and I was just kind of screwing around and went to put my laundry in the washers, and then to go get my magazine that came in the mail, the Acts and Facts magazine that I'm got a monthly subscription to. And then I just came back and I was just trying to watch some stuff on YouTube, things I've already seen like a bunch of times. And then I don't know, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take a nap because I still have like 40 minutes or 30 minutes until I have to go get my stuff from the washer. So I'm just going to lay down. And I don't know, I just started feeling really sad and just not knowing what to do, but still getting up at like 7. I got up at like 7:10 this morning. So there wasn't really a reason for that. But I was thinking, okay, well, should I go to church? You know, should I go to my parents' house? Like, what should I do today? And I just, you know, it's just kind of the same old, same old. I don't really feel like doing anything, so I don't. I really only act if I absolutely feel I have to do it, you know. But when I'm with my girlfriend, I feel like I want to do things. I want to go out. I want to go talk to people. I want to see things. Like, I want to have a good time. It's always a battle, like a struggle within, because a lot of the time I want to tell her no, just because of my anxiety disorder. You know, because I do have anxiety disorder, and I was going to say syndrome. It's not a syndrome, but so that, and also of just needing to be a hermit. But then I absolutely hate the fact that I'm a hermit. I hate that about my personality, that I feel I need to be alone all the time in order to be happy, because it literally only took like 4 hours for me to say, you know what, this is not cool. I don't want to do this. I need to leave, you know? So it's just this inner war within myself. And I know I talked about this so many times. It's just a part of my disorder. It's a part of my personality where I have to get these things off my chest. And even though it's the same thing over and over again, at this point, I really don't care, because I mean, I can't control it. So some things I guess I'm just learning lately to, instead of just things being a choice, which they are, like having a choice and having a strong or weak mindset or whatever, like these things are very, very, true. They lay in truth, but, at the same time, maybe they don't. Because if that were true, then you can't force your will to do everything that you want to do. That's only some people have that capacity to do that, like by themselves, where they don't need a girlfriend, they don't need a family, they can just keep going. I'm sure a lot of lawyers, like that work in law firms, are probably like that, and doctors, like I'm sure, but like surgeons, but even pro wrestlers. I mean, I've seen that where they're always traveling, they're always on the road nonstop, which actually reminds me, I told my mom yesterday, go ahead and expect me to keep seeing me every Tuesday night, because Tuesday Night Dynamite now comes on at 8. That AEW thing. So, I mean, I'm like sort of excited, but like not at the same time. I don't know. It's just kind of like meh, like it's whatever. But anyways, so that's why I decided to turn this on to do an episode, but I'm probably not going to really release this episode for probably another 3 to 4 weeks, because we have other stuff on the docket planned for the Christian channel that I'm doing. So we got more stuff to do. I actually have a list of things for about the next 3 weeks. We actually are booked for the show of ideas that I want to do with myself and other people. So like next week, we're going to try to aim on the weekend at some point for me and my girlfriend to do a Q&A. We're going to go through another 13 questions to do the September Q&A. We just got done with the August one last week and uploaded that with my brother, who was calling himself the pseudo doctor on the show. Oops. All right, just turn that off. And my girlfriend actually just sent me a text message saying that she right now is going to the gym. So, I mean, maybe that is a good idea for me to go. Well, I now can't go to the gym. I have to wait until my clothes are done. But, and I was also talking to her about CBD yesterday, because, I was just like, I just was feeling in a really like grumpy, like bad mood when she wanted to go to the gym she wanted me to go with her to the gym, and she likes to go early in the morning. So she's actually going right now, which is kind of weird, but because she normally goes in the morning. But anyways, so it's just a thing where I just have, I'm either just feeling really dehydrated, or it's just my muscles are sore and my back hurts and my neck hurts, and like everything, just like my body is just filled with cramps and inflammation like everywhere, even though I take turmeric and garlic pills like on a nightly basis, which does help, but it does help a lot, but it's just not enough. So I'm thinking about paying the $350 to go downtown to go get my marijuana card back, so I can get those drops I can put under my tongue when I wake up in the morning, so I can go throughout the day without feeling like, I'm 70 years old. So, but anyways, that's why I turned on, I do ramble a lot. You guys should know that by now. I'm not going to explain it anymore, but we've gone through over 100 videos now on my channel, so I'm not explaining nothing. You guys should just know who I am at this point. But anyways, not to be rude, but anyways, yeah, that's just what's been going on. I wanted to turn this on to do my therapy session, to do an hour long of the show today. So I want to do an hour long of the show, but it's not going to come out for about a month. So this episode's going to actually come out sometime around, not Thanksgiving, but Halloween. So it's going to come around sometime out there, because we have a couple of other things that we got to do for the show here. So anyways, I was just feeling just bummed out and just depressed and just not feeling good. Just feeling like, oh, I'm wasting my time. Oh, come on, Sean, you need to get up. You need to go do things today. Like, you need to go do your errands. My brother sent me a message about got to go move around my parents' furniture from the backyard to the living room, and then vice versa, and then have a big truck come pick it up, I guess. Oh, there's the alarm for the clothes. So my clothes are now done in the washer. So here it is. Sorry about that, guys. I actually have about a minute and a half left until I'm going to turn this off. Okay, so yeah, that's just what's been going on today. When thinking back on it, I've actually had like a really, really fun vacation. there were certain moments where it was getting like. Oh, look, she has fangs. My girlfriend sent me a picture with her with fake fangs in her mouth. Okay, she's really weird. Okay, anyways, so, and she also sent me a video that she wants me to watch about a sermon from Francis Chan, so I'm going to watch that later, actually, when I go to the gym. I'm actually planning on going to the gym maybe around like 5 or 6. Oh, no, that's not what the plan was. I was going to go the walking trail up the street from here instead of going to the gym. Like, I was going to go do cardio for about an hour, so... Okay, I mean, that's going to be the plan. But yeah, that's why I turned this on. It's just because I was feeling depressed. I randomly have these weird intervals where I just feel like I'm not necessarily paralyzed, but I feel like I need to work out what's in my head. I don't know why I feel the way I feel, but I don't want to sit in it because it feels like I'm in a lot of agony or something. But this is Pastor Sean. I'm going to be right back after this break, okay? What's going on? Let's see after hours right now.
Okay. What was that?
What's going on? Hey, what's going on? This is Best.
Okay, so that was the last one I played. Okay, I actually still have a lot of clips on here. So the part 3, I actually don't need to do any recording with Dr. Book for any of that stuff. But thank you guys for listening. Chuck Stew, signing out.